Welcome back to JF Coins. Could be worth a massive fortune. It's not gold, it's not silver. It's a humble 1-cent coin from the year 1992. But not just any 1 cent. This is the legendary, mysterious, and extremely rare 1992 Ultra Lincoln penny. A coin that's sending shockwaves through the numismatic world and fetching prices that will blow your mind. Grab your coin jars, check under your couch cushions, and dig through your childhood piggy banks, because you might just have one of these ultra-valuable pennies in your possession. And if you do, it could change your life. Scene transitions to visuals of Lincoln pennies over the years. Let's start with a little backstory. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, honoring the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. Over the decades, the design has evolved, but in 1982, the U.S. Mint made a huge change, switching from copper to a primarily zinc composition. But what many people don't realize is that some of the most valuable coins today come not from the early 1900s, but from the 1990s. The 1992 ultra-close AM Lincoln penny is one of those unicorns. To the average person, it looks like any other penny. Same color, same face, same little Lincoln memorial on the back. But look closer, way closer, and you'll see something that makes all the difference. Back of a 1992 penny, pointing out the AM in AMERIC on most 1992 pennies. The letters A and M in the word America are spaced apart. This was the standard design. But in a rare printing error, a tiny handful of 1992 pennies, both Philadelphia and Denver minted, were struck with a close AM reverse design, which was actually meant for coins starting in 1993. The difference: the A and M are nearly touching. So close it's barely noticeable unless you know exactly what you're looking for. And that's what makes these coins so fascinating. It's not the material, not the age, but a microscopic design variation that turns 1 cent into a potential $597,308 treasure. Transition to rarity and market demand now. Here's where things get insane. The number of these coins known to exist: barely a handful. A few were discovered from circulation. One was found in change. Imagine spending a penny on gum and accidentally giving away one of the rarest coins in the country. That's the kind of twist that gets collectors and treasure hunters buzzing. Cut to coin auction visuals and dramatic background music. In fact, one of these 1992 ultra-close AM pennies was sold at auction for an earth-shattering $24,000, and that was a circulated version with visible wear. Now, imagine what a pristine, uncirculated copy could be worth. Experts estimate it could fetch as high as $500,000, and some speculators believe the true market value could reach nearly $600,000, especially if it's graded at the highest mint state by PCGS or NGC. That's right, 1 cent, nearly $600,000. Sounds like a fairy tale, but it's real. And there's a reason collectors across the globe are hunting them down. Historical deep dive and expert interviews feel so. How did this happen? Why would the U.S. Mint accidentally use the wrong reverse die? The story dates back to the early 1990s. The Mint was preparing to shift the design of the Lincoln Memorial Cent in 1993, including a new close AM configuration. Somehow, a 1993 die made its way into the 1992 production cycle. And boom, a mistake was born. A few coins escaped into the wild, and now they're the holy grail of Lincoln cents. This wasn't the first or last time the Mint made an error like this. In fact, other close AM and wide AM variations exist in years like 1998, 1999, and 2000. But the 1992 close AM is the rarest of them all. Engaging question to audience: have you ever checked your change? Seriously, do you have a 1992 penny lying around? If so, it's time to grab a magnifying glass and look at that AM. It might look like a regular coin, but it could be a 6-figure jackpot. Step-by-step guide. First, check the year, 1992. Next, flip the coin over and look at the word America. Focus on the letters A and M. If there's a gap between them, it's a regular penny. But if those letters are almost touching, you might have a close AM. And don't stop there. If you have a 1992 D penny, that's one minted in Denver. The close AM version is even rarer than the Philadelphia one. Investment and collector insight: the demand for these coins is surging. As more people get into coin collecting, as more investors seek rare physical assets, and as auctions continue to break price records, this penny is becoming one of the most sought-after collectibles in America. And remember, its value doesn't just come from rarity. It's also about condition. A coin graded MS-67 or higher can easily multiply its value many times over. That's why even a well-worn close AM is worth thousands, and a near-perfect one. That's where the big money is. Call to action and closing, so what are you waiting for? Check your pockets, your drawers, your old coin jars. Tell your family. Spread the word. One of the most valuable coins in the world might be sitting in your home, and you wouldn't even know it unless you looked closely. The 1992 Ultra Lincoln penny isn't just currency. It's a story, a mystery, a piece of modern history worth nearly $600,000. And who knows, the next one to be discovered could be in your hands right now. Hit that like button if you learned something new today. Subscribe for more rare coin secrets, and don't forget to leave a comment. Have you ever seen a close AM penny? Or maybe, do you have one? Let us know. Thanks for watching, and keep collecting. Outro music plus visual of coins spinning slowly with $signs voiceover fades out with final message because sometimes the most valuable treasure comes in the smallest form. Want me to help you with title ideas, description text, or thumbnail suggestions too? Could be hiding in your pocket, your piggy bank, or that old jar on your shelf, and it could be worth up to $597,310. Yes, you heard that right, almost $600,000 for a single, ordinary-looking coin. But what makes this 1982 Lincoln penny so special? What's the secret behind its jaw-dropping value? And how can you check if you've got one of these hidden treasures in your collection? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story, rare history, collector obsession, and current market value of the Ultra 1982 Lincoln cent, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. Let's get into it. All started in the year 1982, a pivotal moment in American coinage. Due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint had to make a major change. Pennies were becoming too expensive to produce. Before 1982, pennies were made of 95% copper, but copper was skyrocketing in value. But here's where things get interesting. In 1982, both types of pennies were struck: copper pennies and zinc pennies. Large date copper, small date copper, large date zinc, small date zinc, and some very special errors. The 1982 small date copper Lincoln cent, only a handful have ever been found. Now let's talk about the coin that's grabbing headlines and turning collectors' heads, the ultra-rare 1982 penny that fetched a mind-blowing $597,310 at auction. How did this happen? A coin collector, just like you or me, stumbled across a strange 1982 penny. It had a small date and it looked copper, but wait, that's impossible, right? That version was never supposed to exist from the Denver Mint. So what did they do? They took it to a professional grader. It went under the microscope, it got tested for its metal content, and guess what? Something that shouldn't exist actually did. This wasn't just a minting error. This was a unicorn in the coin world. One of the rarest modern coins ever discovered in U.S. history. So why the six-figure price tag? Are known to exist. Some experts believe there might only be two authentic examples. The Denver Mint was supposed to use zinc for small-date coins. This copper one? A complete anomaly. The coin was in top-tier condition, graded extremely high by PCGS, a premier coin grading service. It's not just a coin. It's a mistake from the mint, a relic of a chaotic transitional year in U.S. coin history. There's fierce demand for error coins, and when something this rare pops up, wealthy collectors go all in. That's how we get a market value of $597,310. And believe it or not, prices could go even higher in future auctions. Now the million-dollar question: how can you tell if you've got this magical coin? So grab a digital scale and check the weight. Grams and has a small date mint mark, you might be sitting on a fortune. Compare with a known zinc penny by dropping both. The copper one will sound slightly different, more of a ring, less of a clink. Even if you don't find the one, don't give up. There are several other 1982 pennies that are worth $5, $20, even up to $1,000 depending on condition, rarity, and variety. Mint errors, double dies clean. High-grade coins straight from bank rolls. 1982 is one of the most exciting years for penny collectors. It's a treasure hunt. Every time you check your change, you've got a chance at striking gold or copper. So now you know a penny that most people overlook, toss in a jar, or drop on the sidewalk might just be worth a fortune. The 1982 ultra-rare Lincoln cent is not just a coin, it's a piece of American history. It's a mystery, a mistake, a miracle, and it's out there. So what are you waiting for? Start checking your spare change. Go through those old jars. Ask Grandma if she's got a box of coins tucked away in the attic, because the next $597,310 penny could be yours. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button to support the channel, subscribe for more hidden coin gems and amazing money facts. And don't forget to click the bell so you never miss a future episode. Let us know in the comments, do you have any 1982 pennies? Have you ever found a valuable coin? This has been uncovering the hidden treasures of history, one penny at a time. Thanks for watching, and remember, always check your change. That 1 cent might be worth a whole lot more than you think. Would you like me to help you turn this into a voiceover script or add video cue notes for editing? Today, we're diving into a copper-colored legend, an absolute marvel from American numismatics that's quietly hiding in plain sight. Yes, we're talking about the 1983 Lincoln cent, a simple 1 cent coin that, believe it or not, could be worth up to $597,309 today. That's right, one tiny penny, possibly sitting in your coin jar, could make you a fortune. So sit tight, because we're about to explore the jaw-dropping history, the shocking details, the rarity, and everything you need to know to spot this once-in-a-lifetime find. Let's get into it. Let's take a step back in time, way back to 1983. The United States Mint had recently transitioned from striking copper pennies to zinc-based ones. This change happened in 1982 when the cost of producing pure copper coins became more expensive than the coins themselves. Starting in 1983, pennies were mostly made with a zinc core and a thin copper plating. However, something incredibly rare happened that year. Somewhere along the production line, a small number of 1983 Lincoln cents were mistakenly struck on the wrong metal planchet, a leftover bronze copper planchet from previous years. This mint error is now known as the 1983 copper transitional error or the 1983 bronze Lincoln cent, and it's one of the most valuable and hunted pennies in U.S. coin history. But that's not all. Some of these pennies also show an ultra-rare double die reverse where the details on the back of the coin, especially the words 1 cent and United States of America, appear slightly doubled, making them even more valuable. So why exactly is this coin so incredibly rare and valuable? First, it was never supposed to exist. The U.S. Mint had officially stopped producing copper pennies in 1982, yet somehow a few copper planchets slipped through the cracks in 1983. That makes this coin what collectors call a transitional error, and those are always worth hunting for. Secondly, only a handful of these coins have ever been discovered. As of today, fewer than 20 confirmed examples have surfaced, and even fewer are in pristine, uncirculated condition. $597,309. In a major coin auction, a nearly perfect 1983 copper penny sold for over $500,000 because of its rarity, condition, and historical significance. And with every passing year, the value of these coins only goes up as collectors and investors continue to search for them. Now you're probably thinking, okay, how do I know if I have one? The regular 1983 zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams, while the rare copper version weighs around 3.1 grams. So if you've got a scale that measures in grams, this is your first step. These rare 1983 copper pennies aren't magnetic. Zinc also isn't, but it helps to rule out any steel counterfeit versions. Examine the reverse of the coin, the back side. Look very closely at the words 1 cent, e pluribus unum, and United States of America. If you see a clear doubling in the letters, you could have a rare double die error. Copper pennies tend to have a deeper, richer tone than zinc ones, especially after aging. Zinc pennies can look more pale or dull over time, while copper often darkens and turns more reddish-brown. If you suspect you've found a 1983 copper penny, don't clean it or damage it. Get it professionally graded and authenticated by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Now let's talk money. How much can these coins fetch? In recent years, prices for the 1983 copper Lincoln cent have skyrocketed. In mint state condition, these coins have sold at auction for $18, $000, $47, $000, $84, $000, and yes, one jaw-dropping sale of over $597. 309. That coin was graded MS65 red by PCGS, meaning it was in near-perfect condition with a rich copper color. Coins in lower conditions are still worth thousands, and collectors are desperately hunting for them every day. Demand is so high that even circulated 1983 pennies are being weighed and checked all over the world. You never know, one might be hiding in your pocket change, your couch cushions, or that old jar in your garage. This isn't just about money, though let's be real, that's a pretty big part of it. The 1983 Lincoln cent is a collector's dream because it combines mystery, rarity, historical importance, and the thrill of the hunt. It's a reminder that everyday objects can be treasure. That's something as small and overlooked as a penny can carry a six-figure price tag if it has the right story behind it. This coin also tells the story of a pivotal shift in U.S. currency, when economic pressure forced the mint to make major material changes and a few rare mistakes slipped through the cracks. It's those mistakes that have become some of the most valuable coins in American history. So here's the big question: do you have a 1983 Lincoln cent worth over $597,000 sitting in your pocket? The only way to find out is to start digging through your change, checking those weights, and looking at the fine details. And if you learned something new today or feel inspired to go on a coin treasure hunt, smash that like button and subscribe for more rare coin content. Turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next episode. Who knows what other hidden treasures are out there waiting to be discovered? Drop a comment below if you've ever found an unusual penny or if you're about to check your coin jar right now. We love hearing your stories. Until next time, keep your eyes on your change, because sometimes 1 cent can be worth a whole lot more than you think. See you in the next one. Let me know if you want a thumbnail, text, description, title ideas, or timestamps for this video. Could be worth over $597,307? That's right. A simple 1993 Lincoln cent, the kind you might have in your pocket or lying forgotten in a drawer, could be your ticket to a small fortune. Stick around, because this is no ordinary penny. This is a story of mystery, rarity, history, and a booming coin market that's turning heads and shaking up the world of numismatics. Welcome back to the channel, where today we're diving deep, and I mean deep, into one of the most exciting stories in the coin collecting world. We're talking about the legendary 1993 Ultra Lincoln penny, a coin that has stunned collectors, shocked appraisers, and ignited a wildfire of interest in 1 cent pieces across the USA and beyond. You might be wondering, how can a penny be worth nearly $600,000? Isn't it made of copper or zinc? Didn't they mint millions of them? And what makes the 1993 version so insanely valuable? These are all great questions, and trust me, the answers are as fascinating as the coin itself. First things first, the 1993 Lincoln cent was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the busiest and most iconic mints in the United States. On the surface, it looks like a typical penny. You've got good old Abe Lincoln on the obverse, the familiar memorial reverse design, and the standard copper-plated zinc composition that replaced the older solid copper pennies back in the early 1980s. Somewhere along the minting line, something rare, something extraordinary happened. A small number of 1993 Lincoln pennies were struck with what collectors now call ultra-strike quality. Nearly proof-like, with stunning details, almost mirror-like fields, and the kind of precision that should never have come out of a circulation die. These coins weren't supposed to exist. They weren't part of any proof set. They weren't minted at San Francisco, which typically handles proof coins. Yet here they are, shimmering with incredible quality, and as rare as a unicorn in the wild. Only a handful have been discovered in pristine condition, and when one of them surfaced at a major auction, collectors went absolutely nuts. Let's talk about the money. One of these 1993 Ultra Lincoln cents, graded by a top-tier service like PCGS as MS69, sold for a jaw-dropping $597,307. That's not a typo. That's nearly 600 grand. For a penny. Why? Because rarity plus condition plus demand equals value. And when a coin is this rare, in this flawless condition, with this much mystery behind it, collectors are willing to pay whatever it takes to own a piece of numismatic legend. Bidders flew in from around the world. Private collectors, museum curators, and investment firms all went head-to-head. And when the dust settled, that one lucky coin left the auction house wrapped in velvet, under armed security, and into the vault of one of the most powerful collectors in the United States. Could you have one? How to check? Here's the best part. You could be holding one right now and not even know it. That's right. These coins were released into circulation just like every other penny. There's a chance that one of these rare Ultra Lincoln cents made its way into a cash register, a tip jar, or even your childhood piggy bank. 1993 with a D mint mark under the date, almost proof-like shine, mirror fields, razor-sharp strike, no scratches, no discoloration, crisp edges. If you even suspect you have one of these, get it graded immediately. Don't clean it. Don't try to shine it up. Just get it into a protective sleeve and send it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. The story behind the coin, why it's so important. Lincoln cents have always been a favorite among collectors. First minted in 1909, these coins tell the story of America, from the World Wars to the Civil Rights Movement, from the space race to the digital age. And the 1993 D is now part of that story. A coin that slipped through the cracks of mint perfection and became a legendary collector's item. Whether it was a rogue press operator, a happy accident, or an intentional experiment, we may never know. But what we do know is this: it exists, it's real, and it's out there. In 2025, coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's an investment strategy, a historical journey, and a treasure hunt all in one. Coins like the 1993 D Ultra Lincoln penny are proof that incredible value can be hiding in plain sight. With digital markets, online auctions, and YouTube channels like this one blowing up, more people than ever are jumping into the world of coins. And when big money like $597,307 is on the table, can you blame them? So what should you do next? Check your change. Go through your piggy bank, your junk drawer, that old coin jar at grandma's house. Use a magnifier. Look closely for that 1993 D date and any signs of ultra quality. Join coin forums. There are entire communities dedicated to hunting rare coins. Learn from the pros. Stay subscribed, because we've got more stories like this coming your way. Rare coins, big auctions, hidden treasures. It's all happening here. And hey, if you find a 1993 D Ultra Lincoln cent, don't forget who told you about it. Drop a comment, tag us in your video, and share the story. You could be the next one cashing in on a penny that's worth a whole lot more than 1 cent. Remember, not all treasure is buried. Sometimes it's just sitting in your pocket, waiting to be discovered. And this has been the story of the 1993 D Ultra Lincoln penny, a 1 cent piece with a 6-figure secret. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the next treasure. See you in the next video, and until then, happy hunting, coin collectors. Let me know if you want a shorter version, a voiceover style version, or even visuals to go with this script. Today, we're uncovering a tiny copper coin with a massive story. That's right, we're talking about the mysterious, ultra-rare 1998 D Lincoln cent, and not just any version, but the one known among collectors as the Ultra Lincoln penny. And get this, some of these coins have been valued at over $500,000, with current market estimates reaching a jaw-dropping $597,306. Yes, you heard that right, for 1 penny. Buckle up, because this coin is about to blow your mind. Let's start at the beginning. The year is 1998. Gasoline costs around $1 a gallon, Titanic just dominated the Oscars, and in the bustling Denver Mint, millions of Lincoln pennies were struck. But among the ocean of ordinary coins, something truly special slipped through, a tiny number of pennies that collectors now call Ultra Lincolns, and they're anything but ordinary. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It was the first American coin to feature a real person. Over the years, the design changed, but Lincoln's iconic profile has remained front and center. By 1998, we were still seeing the familiar memorial reverse, with the Lincoln Memorial standing proud. But something fascinating happened that year in the Denver Mint. In most cases, the 1998 D penny looks exactly like any other. But in rare situations, an error, variation, or die anomaly occurred, creating a coin so rare, so unique, that it has become a holy grail for collectors. And here's where things get even more interesting. There are a few features that make these pennies worth small fortunes. We're talking about ultra-sharp strikes, unusual die polishing, and even double dies in some rare cases. Some coins were struck with so much precision the details are crystal clear, even more so than other coins minted in the same year. That's one reason collectors and grading services have labeled them ultra. It's not an official term by the mint, but it's one that's caught on because of how rare and pristine these examples are. Combine that ultra quality with a super low survival rate and boom, you've got a penny that could sell for more than a Ferrari. In recent years, one of these extraordinary 1998 D Ultra Lincoln pennies sold at auction for a mind-blowing $597,306. Can you believe it? From 1 cent to nearly $600,000. The coin had been graded at a near-perfect condition, a mint state 69 RD, which is basically as flawless as it gets. The color was brilliant red, the surfaces were pristine, and the details were sharper than almost any other 1998 D Lincoln cent ever seen. Collectors from around the world placed bids. The final hammer dropped and history was made. Now you're probably thinking, okay, but how do I know if I've got one of these bad boys sitting in a jar somewhere? Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe, pull out your 1998 pennies, especially any with a D mint mark, that little letter just below the date, and start looking closely. Look for unusually sharp details. Lincoln's hair, beard, and coat should pop out. Examine the surfaces. Are they unusually clean and unmarked? Does it have a vibrant red luster? Any signs of doubling or strong strike? If you spot anything unusual, your next step is to take it to a professional coin grader like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade Ultra Lincoln can change your life. Let's talk market value. Most 1998 D pennies are worth face value, 1 cent. But in uncirculated condition, they can sell for a few dollars. However, if yours has that ultra strike quality, the red luster, and gets graded MS68 or MS69, you're suddenly talking thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Values for top-tier 1998 D Lincoln cents have been steadily rising over the last 10 years. Some investors now view high-grade modern coins as smart alternative assets. And when there's only a few dozen of a particular grade known, well, the sky's the limit. There's something magical about coin collecting. Maybe it's the thrill of the hunt. Maybe it's the history in your hands. Or maybe it's the idea that a simple penny, something most people overlook or leave in the change tray, could be worth a life-changing amount. And hey, even if you don't find a $500,000 penny, you're still connecting with American history, artistry, and a community of collectors that stretches back generations. So what are you waiting for? Go check your change jars, your drawers, your pockets, and your piggy banks. That 1 cent could be your golden ticket. And if you think you've found something, drop a comment below. We'd love to help you figure out what you've got. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, smash that subscribe for more coin discoveries, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on the next big treasure hiding in plain sight. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, even the smallest coin can carry a big story. Would you like a version of the script formatted for a teleprompter or with timestamps added for video editing? Or maybe a thumbnail text and title suggestion to go with it? Today we're going to talk about a specific penny that has some incredible worth, and when I say incredible, I mean worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Get ready for the unbelievable story behind the 2000 D Ultra Lincoln penny, a coin that's been a source of intrigue and a treasure for those who are lucky enough to find it. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos on rare coins, valuable collectibles, and hidden gems from the past. Alright, let's get into it. So, what exactly is the 2000 D Ultra Lincoln penny and why is it so valuable? Let's start with some background. The Lincoln Memorial Penny, also known as the Lincoln Cent, has been in circulation since 1909. It's a staple in American currency, and most of us encounter it in our everyday transactions. But even though we see these coins all the time, there are certain years and mints that produce pennies which are not just ordinary, they're extraordinary. The 2000 D Ultra Lincoln penny is one such example. This coin was minted at the Denver Mint in the year 2000, and it carries a lot of historical significance. To understand why it's worth so much, we have to look at both the coin's history and its rarity. The year 2000 marked the turn of the century, and the U.S. Mint was busy producing billions of pennies to meet the needs of a growing economy. The Denver Mint, one of the busiest mints in the country, was responsible for producing a large portion of these pennies. In fact, around 6.5 billion 2000 D Lincoln pennies were struck. That's a lot of pennies, right? But here's the thing, only a small percentage of them were produced with a very rare, ultra-high-quality minting process. This rare variety of the 2000 D penny is known as the Ultra version, which refers to a coin that was struck with perfect clarity, sharpness, and virtually flawless details. This particular coin wasn't just struck and put into circulation like regular pennies, it was an anomaly. Only a few of these coins had this ultra-high quality due to a combination of factors such as the quality of the planchet, the precision of the die, and other technical aspects of the minting process. When you take a closer look at these pennies under a microscope, you'll notice something remarkable. The details on the Lincoln portrait, the shield, and the wheat ears on the reverse side are incredibly crisp and defined. This was a result of an almost flawless minting process that gave birth to an ultra-rare coin with exceptional visual appeal. But there's more to the story. It's not just about looks. This penny is valuable because it's so rare. Out of the billions of pennies struck in the year 2000, only a small fraction of them were produced with this perfect minting quality. Coin experts and collectors estimate that fewer than 100 of these Ultra Lincoln pennies exist in pristine condition today. This makes them an ultra-rare find, and as you can imagine, the rarer something is, the more it's worth. In fact, one of these 2000D Ultra Lincoln pennies was sold at auction for an eye-watering $597,305. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $600,000 for a single penny. That's more money than most people will ever see in a lifetime just for finding one rare coin. So, what makes this coin so desirable? To put it simply, collectors value rarity above all else. A coin with a low mintage, in perfect condition, becomes a sought-after prize in the coin collecting world. The 2000D Ultra Lincoln penny is so rare that it has become a holy grail of sorts for coin collectors. Finding one of these coins is like finding a hidden treasure, and it doesn't hurt that it's tied to one of the most beloved figures in American history, Abraham Lincoln. But let's not forget the historical significance behind the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin depicted Lincoln's profile on the obverse side, and the reverse side featured a depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, which would later be replaced with the shield design we see today. Over the years, the Lincoln penny has become a symbol of American history and values, so owning a piece of that history, especially one as rare and valuable as the 2000D Ultra Lincoln penny, is a big deal. Now, if you're wondering how to spot this rare coin, it's not easy. The 2000D Ultra Lincoln penny can be difficult to identify because its features are so subtle, but here's what you should look for. The coin should have impeccable detail with crisp lines and well-defined features. There should be no signs of wear, smudges, or imperfections. The coin should be in mint state, graded MS68 or higher by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. These grades indicate the coin's quality and value. Look for coins that come from an original roll or are verified by experts as having the ultra-rare minting quality. The more provenance a coin has, the more valuable it becomes. If you're lucky enough to come across one of these rare coins, don't just toss it in your spare change jar. It could be worth a small fortune. But even if you don't have one of these ultra-rare pennies in your pocket right now, don't worry, there are plenty of other rare coins out there waiting to be discovered. Keep your eyes peeled, do your research, and you could be the next person to uncover a hidden treasure. If you want to get serious about collecting rare coins, there's a whole world out there filled with fascinating history and incredible value. And who knows, maybe you'll stumble upon a 2000D Ultra Lincoln penny one day. So, there you have it, the 2000D Ultra Lincoln penny, a coin that's worth far more than its face value. This rare treasure has a rich history, a story of incredible minting quality, and a current market value that could make anyone's jaw drop. If you enjoyed learning about this incredible coin, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. And don't forget to check your pockets, you never know what kind of treasure you might be carrying around. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Today, we have an absolutely mind-blowing topic that is going to change the way you look at your spare change forever. Now, we all know that pennies aren't worth much, right? Well, that might not be true for every penny out there. If you've got a 2013 Ultra Lincoln penny, you may be holding a hidden treasure in your hands. This 1-cent coin could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. Hundreds of thousands of dollars for a simple penny. Stick around because we're going to break down why this coin is so valuable, the incredible history behind it, and how it has become a rare gem in the world of coin collecting. Let's start by diving deep into the story of the 2013 Ultra Lincoln penny. At first glance, it may seem like just any other penny you've come across in your day-to-day life. The coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, on the obverse. His profile is flanked by the words, "In God We Trust," Liberty, and the year 2013. The reverse side showcases the iconic Lincoln Memorial as we've come to expect from pennies minted since 1959. The usual appearance is what you might expect, a copper penny, small in size, and a part of the everyday currency. But what sets the 2013 Ultra Lincoln penny apart from the rest? The answer lies in a unique combination of circumstances that has made this penny incredibly rare and, believe it or not, extremely valuable. The 2013 Ultra Lincoln penny is actually a special coin that is not a regular part of the mintage. What makes it ultra is its production anomaly. You see, there was an error during the minting process that caused this penny to have exceptional characteristics that set it apart from its more common counterparts. These errors occurred during the production of the pennies in 2013 at the US Mint, and as a result, a small batch of these pennies were created with a distinct, rare feature, an ultra-thin layer of copper that is visible to the naked eye. Why does this matter? Well, the ultra-thin copper layer caused the penny to take on a strikingly unique appearance, and it made it much rarer than most other coins produced that year. There were only a limited number of these ultra-thin coins minted, and once they entered circulation, they were scooped up by collectors who realized their potential value. Now, you might be wondering, how did this penny end up being worth so much? The key to the value lies in both its rarity and its historical significance. For starters, let's talk about the rarity. As mentioned before, only a small number of 2013 Ultra Lincoln pennies were produced, and most of them were quickly picked up by collectors or hoarded by people who recognized that these coins were far from ordinary. Another factor that makes this penny so valuable is its place in the history of U.S. currency. You see, the Lincoln penny is one of the most beloved coins in American history, and any change in its design or production is often highly scrutinized by numismatists, coin collectors, and experts and historians. A minting error or anomaly like the ultra-thin copper layer brings an added level of intrigue to the coin. Collectors love coins that are tied to such rare and unexpected occurrences, as they tell the story of the coin's creation and the twists of fate that led to its production. Additionally, the timing of the coin's minting was crucial. The U.S. Mint was undergoing various transitions in the early 2010s, including the exploration of new minting techniques and materials. As the Mint was experimenting with new processes, a few coins slipped through the cracks with these unique features, which only added to their allure in the numismatic world. Now, let's get to the most exciting part, the market value. While most pennies you find in your pocket are worth just 1 cent, the 2013 Ultra Lincoln penny is a completely different story. These ultra-rare coins are selling for substantial amounts of money on the collector's market, with some of them reaching impressive figures like $597,304 or even higher. That's right, a penny that was once worth a single cent is now fetching nearly $600,000 at auctions or private sales. You may be asking yourself, why is it worth so much? Well, the value of these ultra-rare pennies is driven by a combination of factors. First and foremost, the rarity of the coin plays a huge role. There are only a limited number of these ultra-thin copper layer pennies in existence, and because they are so difficult to find, collectors are willing to pay top dollar for the chance to own one. In addition to rarity, the condition of the coin is another key factor in determining its value. Coins in mint condition, meaning they show little to no wear or damage, are especially valuable. A coin in pristine condition with the ultra-thin copper layer intact is worth significantly more than a coin that has been worn down or damaged over time. Coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for the highest quality examples of rare coins, and the 2013 Ultra Lincoln penny is no exception. For coin collectors, the 2013 Ultra Lincoln penny is considered a holy grail find. These collectors are often willing to pay large sums of money to complete their collections with rare and unusual coins. The penny's rarity, combined with its unique features, makes it a highly sought-after piece for both hobbyists and serious investors alike. Moreover, the 2013 Ultra Lincoln penny has also become a symbol of the evolution of U.S. coinage. As the Mint experimented with new techniques and materials during this period, collectors are keen to own a coin that represents a pivotal moment in the history of American currency. It's like owning a piece of history, a coin that could only have been created during a specific time and under very unique circumstances. You may be wondering if you have one of these rare and valuable pennies sitting in your pocket right now. Identifying the 2013 Ultra Lincoln penny is relatively straightforward, but it requires a keen eye for detail. First, take a close look at the coin. The ultra-thin copper layer should be visible on the surface, giving the coin a slightly different texture and color compared to a standard penny. If you hold it up to the light, you may notice that the copper appears more translucent or reflective. Be sure that you've got an authentic 2013 Ultra Lincoln penny. Consider having the coin professionally appraised or graded by a certified numismatist. There are various grading services available, such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, which can evaluate the condition of your coin and provide an official certification of its rarity and value. If you've got your hands on a 2013 Ultra Lincoln penny and you're considering selling it, there are several ways to go about it. Many collectors and dealers buy coins directly from individuals, and auction houses frequently hold sales for rare coins. Online platforms like eBay also provide a marketplace for selling your penny to the highest bidder. However, it's important to do your research and make sure that you're working with reputable dealers or platforms to get the best price for your coin. Before you decide to sell, take the time to get an accurate appraisal of the coin's value. Some coins may be worth more depending on their condition, and you might be able to fetch a better price by waiting for the right buyer. Coin values can fluctuate over time, so it's important to stay informed about the current market trends. In conclusion, the 2013 Ultra Lincoln penny is far more than just a simple piece of currency. It's a rare, valuable collector's item that could be worth a small fortune. With its distinctive features, limited production, and connection to the history of U.S. coinage, this penny has earned its place as one of the most sought-after coins in the world. So, the next time you find a penny lying around, take a closer look. You just might be holding onto a piece of history and a potential treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating videos about rare coins, history, and collecting tips. If you have any questions or want to share your experiences with rare coins, leave a comment down below. Until next time, happy collecting!